Harare, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe's governing party moved on Friday to expel President Robert Mugabe from its ranks, taking the first step in legally ousting the 93-year-old leader following a military coup 2 days earlier. A majority of the leaders of the party, ZANU-PF, recommended Mr. Mugabe's expulsion from the very organization that he had controlled with an iron grip since independence in 1980, according to ZBC, the state broadcaster. Similar steps, possibly over the next week, by the party's Central Committee, Parliament and Mr. Mugabe's cabinet could legally end his presidency in keeping with coup leaders' attempts to soften the image of a takeover that the military insists was not a coup. The military arrested Mr. Mugabe early Wednesday, effectively ending his 37-year rule, although it allowed him to appear in public on Friday to address a university graduation. Later on Friday, party members endorsed the military's efforts to stabilize the economy and defuse political instability. They echoed military commanders in arguing that the intervention was aimed at rooting out a cabal of corrupt interlopers who had clouded Mr. Mugabe's judgment and his ability to govern. Many of us had watched with pain as the party and government were being reduced to the personal property of a few infiltrators with traitorous histories and questionable commitment to the people of Zimbabwe, the party leaders said in a resolution. Clearly, the country was going down the wrong path. The resolution recommended that Mr. Mugabe be removed for taking the advice of counter-revolutionaries and agents of neo-imperialism, for mistreating his vice president, Emmerson Mnangagwa, whom Mr. Mugabe abruptly dismissed last week, and for encouraging factionalism. It urged the immediate and unconditional reinstatement of Mr. Mnangagwa, who appears poised to succeed Mr. Mugabe, at least until national elections scheduled for next year. Party members also moved to schedule a march for Saturday in support of the military. Over the past few days, the military has been in negotiations to find a peaceful and face-saving way for Mr. Mugabe to exit the scene, in talks mediated by South Africa and other countries in the region, and by the Roman Catholic Church. The military has insisted that its intervention was not a coup. The Herald, the state-run newspaper, said the military had taken action to pacify the degenerating political, social, and economic situation in the country, which, if left unchecked, would have resulted in violent conflict, and said the action was intended to flush out reactionary and criminal elements around the president. On Friday, Mr. Mugabe was freed, if only temporarily, to address a university graduation ceremony. It was his first public appearance since the military placed him under house arrest, an illustration, perhaps, that this was no ordinary attempt to oust a despot. Mr. Mugabe, 93, has dominated his country since independence from Britain 37 years ago, surviving through a blend of political skill, brutality, manipulation, and patronage dispensed among a corrupt elite. Those days are numbered, though, said Chris Mutsvangwa, the leader of Zimbabwe's influential war veterans movement, which was founded to represent those who fought in the 7-year liberation war in the 1970s but has emerged as a powerful political force.